Hello and welcome to Real Watchers Movie Club. My name is Garrett.
And I'm Kevin.
And we are your hosts. Movie Club is a show where we pick a movie every week and discuss it just like a book club. On today's show, we are continuing our January month-long theme of looking at documentaries. And our documentary this week is Summer of Soul. Our thoughts and more coming up on Movie Club. Released in 2021, Summer of Soul, or When the Revolution Could Not Be Televised, was directed by Questlove. During the same summer as Woodstock, over 300,000 people attended the Harlem Cultural Festival, celebrating African American music and culture and promoting Black pride and unity. The footage from the festival sat in a basement, unseen for over 50 years, keeping this incredible event in America's history lost until now. The film currently has a 4.2 out of 5 on Letterboxd, and it won 1 Academy Award for Best Documentary Feature. Before we dive into our thoughts, though, we do want to issue a spoiler warning for this. We'll be discussing things that happen in the movie, and don't want to ruin it for you. There's not a whole lot to spoil, but, you know, if you want to go check it out for yourself, and then come on back. But stay tuned to find out what documentary we're covering next week, because it's this is going to be really flip-flopping tones this month long. Alrighty, Kevin. So, Summer of Soul was my pick this week, and I picked it because I have been wanting to watch it for a very long time, and never had a chance to. So, I went into this blind, except knowing that it won the Oscar for Best Documentary. Had you heard about this at all?
I have seen it on Hulu's homepage sometimes. So I knew of it, but I did not know it was a documentary or anything like that. So I'm going to say I have seen the poster, and that's it.
Gotcha. Well, we went in both pretty blind, and now that we've both watched it, let's go ahead and dive in a little bit. I thought this was really good.
I mean, I can agree with you on that one. It was really good.
Yeah, I think that this, presenting this as seeing footage that we have never seen before, was something really special. And I think that there's a lot of people and a lot of artists in this that personally I'm not familiar with. Not for any reason or another. It's just not typically, I mean, it's from the 60s, obviously, so it's not like artists I'm immediately familiar with anyway. You know?
Like Stevie Wonder is who
obviously we know Stevie Wonder. I've heard of B.B. King before. There are other artists here. I believe Nina Simone I've heard before. Mavis Staples I've heard before. So there are some people, but I would say the majority of the artists I had never heard of before.
But it's when they were so young too. That's the other thing. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. It's them when they're a lot younger, which like Stevie Wonder is unrecognizable. It's pretty fun. But I think that this was really cool because on one hand, I think it's cool because it combines concert footage that had never been seen before with like historical information.
Loved that part of it. Yes.
Yeah, and I do kind of want to get to my nitpick first, though, which I think is that this movie slows down a little bit when it's not dealing with the music. And what I mean by that is, I mean, there's historical information that's fine. Like, there's important setting of the environment and the tone and everything, like the history of the 60s leading up to that point, whatever. That's important. That's fine. I'm kind of talking about, like, all the interviews. Like, sometimes like from people who were... Yeah, like from the ones from people who were there was really cool. But, like, I didn't need to see artists reacting to the footage. Like, I'm not a big fan of react channels anyway on YouTube. Like, I don't really want to see that. Like, it's cool for some of them to be like, oh, look at how cute we were or whatever. But, like, you know, there was one artist, it's like a pop group that then went into a diatribe about how, like, we really wanted to go see this Broadway show, and then, you know, the guys saw us, and he was actually I was like, I don't need to hear about that. Like, that just slowed this whole thing down. Other than that, though, I think this movie is really, really good. It's any person who is like a fan of music in any way, shape, or form, or even just like kind of historical events that no one really knows about because it was crazy. Yeah, I think this is an important documentary to watch for those people.
Yeah, and I wish they would have gone into more of why this wasn't published or released or anything like that. That would have been, instead of like having the people come back and be like, yeah, I remember that day, it was a
Yeah,
good day kind of situation, is why wasn't this published? Because as I wrote in my review, history is history. Like, if you
yeah,
find something that you think that can not make history, but is a part of history, you need to show it to the world because it might have an impact on somebody else that you don't even know about. And especially with this being Woodstock being in the same year as the Summer of Soul, but this one looks so much more packed than Woodstock, and this one had, I think, a lot of people would agree maybe Woodstock had better music. This music I never really listened to be honest, but it was like it was great music. I was like, oh
oh
my
yeah.
god, I was getting into it. But I do also love the history behind it. I wish there was maybe a little bit more history about Martin Luther King, like all of that stuff while everything was happening, which we did get a little bit bits and pieces of that, but it more focused on the concert. So it was more concerty for me.
Which I think that's good though. Like I think because I mean there are so many documentaries about Martin Luther King and Nixon and all these historical figures of the time. So like
Mhm.
I'm glad that it does focus on the concert. And honestly, in a perfect world, I would just love to watch the concert footage.
Mhm.
Like I would have just loved to see that uninterrupted.
Mhm.
But I do agree. I think this is, yeah, man, it's really good. It's a cool look at '60s culture, and
Yeah.
like it is so nice to watch concert footage where no one's on their phone.
Oh, it's so weird. People are in the trees just dancing and stuff like that.
Yeah,
I'm like, that's so awesome because again, back in the 60s, you're like you don't really have like phones or anything like that, but it's like you wanted to see the concert. You'll do whatever it takes to get up into a tree just to see your favorite band or something like that.
yeah, definitely. And it's like it makes me glad that some artists ban phones nowadays at their
Hmm.
concerts because it's like just live in the moment. Like these people are living in the moment. They're seeing a concert that is like a once in a lifetime lineup at that period in time.
Hmm.
And they're out there enjoying it. And it's like I know if I got to see a once in a lifetime lineup of my favorite artists or artists that were important to me, I
Yeah.
know so many people would be on their phones the whole time.
Oh
And
yeah.
it's dude, stop. Like it's not a popularity thing. Like live in the moment. Sorry,
Mhm.
getting off my soapbox. But
You're good.
like I think that the movie, like again, it's really, really well done. It's well composed. I will say maybe a tad longer than it needs to be. And I think that's mostly because of like the reaction stuff,
Hmm.
But like I think if those a little bit, I think it would have been pretty well off.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I mean, like it's really kind of it's on its own thing. Like I love music documentaries because, like, I think of the best music documentary ever, which is Stop Making Sense, which is a concert film, which is also kind of a film, but also kind of a it's a weird mix of things, right? And that one focused on the
Hmm.
music. It was just a concert,
Okay.
and I think that that's like the kind of the ultimate way to go. And I think this is cool because again, it presents that piece of history that no one really remembers, unfortunately, unless you were there or
Hmm.
you were in New York. I'm sure you heard about this. But like, and so that's why I think I really liked it as much as I did. It wasn't just like, oh, and then Martin Luther King died, and then 2 years later we decided to hold a concert, and this person was there, and this person
Hmm.
was. I know it shows us them, and the audio
Hmm.
sounds so good from these concerts still.
Oh yeah.
Like, holy moly, it sounds good. And
And
like,
it was outdoors too. It wasn't in like an amphitheater or anything
yeah,
like that.
middle of
And it's
Harlem.
and it was still sounded so good. And it
Yeah,
in the middle of Harlem, like it's just so historical.
yeah, absolutely love it. I think it's fantastic. And I mean, I don't think there's enough documentaries that highlight kind of the struggles that Black people in the U.S. went through, especially during this
Oh no.
time. So like, I definitely think it's like, and it doesn't focus on that by any means. Like, it's definitely not like, here's the struggles. I mean, it's part of it. It's part of like the setup for the events that led up to this. But then like the majority of this is like, this is why it was so huge. Like, this is like all the footage, and I love that so much.
It kind of put what we just talked about as a second point, and the concert as a first point. It was like the concert was for this reason, but people came out for this concert because of this reason, kind of a situation. And I really enjoyed that. And I mean, everybody in the audience. I mean, I saw like a couple of the what were they, Puerto Rican people?
I mean, there was people of all colors in the audience.
Yeah, which was awesome to see, especially for like the 60s and stuff like
Yeah.
that. That was very and then them going into after the concert be like, well, then they broke the color barrier in college and stuff like that, which was really cool. It was again, history should be told no matter what. If unfortunately we have bad history, but we also have really good history, which everything should be told for it.
Alrighty, so Summer of Soul was my pick, so I'll go ahead and give my final thoughts and score this. I think that this was, like, I really only have a minor complaint of just the React footage being so prevalent. Other than that, I think that this is a wonderful portrait of 60s culture, and especially, Black culture in Harlem after everything that had happened in this decade, and the fact that they put this together so that people wouldn't tear New York apart, which is crazy to think about. But I think it's a potent reminder that, like, just go to concerts and get off your phone, man. I don't know. Like, that's the biggest thing I took away from it, besides obviously the historical aspect, the cultural aspect. Like, just live in the moment. So for me, I thought this was wonderfully composed. I thought that Questlove did a fantastic job putting this whole thing together. So I gave it a 90 out of 100, which is 4.5 stars out of 5 on Letterboxd.
Nice. I'm right there with you. I put in my review that history should always be told, even if it's bad or it's good history. And the fact that this was not found for 50 years is ridiculous, I feel like, because this had a lot of impact on the culture at its from its time. I really love the movie. I really love the concert aspect of this, the sound, the people that were there, not the people that were interviewing, but everybody watching the stage and not being distracted by other things, which was really cool. So I really enjoyed this movie. I give it an 87 out of 100, which is 4 stars out of 5, but a definitely good watch if you really like soul music.
There you go. Well, a lot of different kinds of music, not just soul. But so the question now falls to you: what do you think of Summer of Soul? If you had the chance to check it out, go ahead and leave a comment down in the comment section. Just remember to be respectful of one another, because it's really not that hard. Next week's documentary, though, will be the documentary that's focused on twins called "Tell Me Who I Am." Make sure to watch it before next week so you aren't spoiled. But thank you so much for watching. Of course, we have this show that goes live every single Friday at 4 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, and then our live stream every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And that's it. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, make sure to keep those eyes on the screen.